What if I told you that there's new research on the connection between our gut microbiome and our mood, intelligence, and overall health? Studies show that people with an unbalanced microbiome are 60% more likely to experience anxiety and depression. After working with more than 200 clients, I developed a 4-step gut health protocol which can reset your gut microbiome without any extreme intestinal cure. To show you this 4-step protocol, this will take me around 10 to 15 minutes, even if I display it as simple as possible. So if you don't have the patience to watch a 10-minute YouTube video, you're not really serious about taking control of your health, and you feel welcome to rather watch some dopamine spiking stuff. So let's get started. First of all, chances are high that you still underestimate the power and the importance of your gut microbiome. Not just on your overall health, but specifically on your brain and your behavior. And there are several studies on how the microbiome can even manipulate the brain in animals and in humans. For example, there was a fascinating study where they infected rats with a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii, and they showed really strange behavior. Because instead of being afraid of the smell of cat urine, they're actually attracted to it. This is helpful for the parasite, of course, because it needs both rats and cats to complete its life cycle. Actually, for the rats, it's pretty stupid because cats are a huge danger for them. In a cat's gut, the parasite reproduces sexually, and its eggs are passed out in the cat's feces. Rats pick up the parasite when they eat contaminated food, and the parasite then moves into the rat's brain. If a cat eats the infected brain, the cycle starts again. And researchers at the Stanford University found out that the parasite mostly affects the rat's so-called amygdala, so the brain area responsible for fear. Interestingly, only the fear of the cat urine is disrupted, while the other fear responses stay normal. And scientists still don't know how the parasite exactly changes specifically that reaction from the brain. And we also have some indicators that the yeast fungus called Candida, maybe you're familiar with that, which is widely spread among humans, can also influence the behavior as people go to the grocery store and buy masses of sugar and candy to feed the fungus. Well, that shouldn't be an excuse for you why you binge on sugar and candy. And in a second, I will show you how you can identify your gut microbiome and identify potential parasites or other issues in the gut. But first, we have to understand at least the broad mechanism of how our gut microbiome works in order to be able to reset it. Because unfortunately, there's no take this supplement and everything is great solution. Now, I want you to imagine your gut like a high-level basketball team. Each bacteria plays a specific position and has a crucial role in winning the game, which means your health. The good bacteria are like your star players. The point guard, so the control center, ensures that the right nutrients arrive at the right place at the right time. Just like a great playmaker distributes the ball and organizes the team. The big center player is like your immune system, blocking everything under the basket that could harm your body. And the wing players provide flexibility, energy, and speed. Just like the bacteria responsible for hormone production, nutrient absorption, and digestion. Unfortunately, there are also some bad bacteria, which are like inexperienced or disruptive players, which make bad passes, commit to fouls, and ultimately disrupt the flow of the game. When they take over, the game gets chaotic. Your body loses balance, inflammation increases, and digestive issues arise. The trainer is your brain. His responsibility is actually to lead the team to win and perform on a high level. But if your team just consists of B players, they won't listen and they won't execute the trainer's game plan. So no matter how loud the trainer will scream, the team won't execute and listen to the trainer, and he ultimately just burns out.
Fuck you, everybody! Fuck you, okay? You want me to repeat million times? Fuck you, Gigi Dotome!
But when your gut team is well trained and coordinated, they will deliver a perfect game. That means your immune system is strong, you're full of energy, and of course your mind is clear. Now the question becomes, how do we identify the B players and just replace them by A players? Well, first thing that I do when I work with a client is that I provide them a gut health test to the beginning of our program. This will tell us exactly what is going on inside the body. But for now, you can make an assessment by yourself. because there are clear and simple indicators if your digestion is working properly. For example, if you watch this video right now while sitting on the toilet, I know you watch this video on the toilet and it takes you more than 5 to 10 minutes to complete. This will be a clear sign that your digestion is not optimal. If you're eating right now, stop the video because we're gonna be really specific. First thing is, the less toilet paper you need, the better your digestion works. So that means actually you should need almost no toilet paper when your digestion is working optimal. Then it should almost have no smell. The more it smells, the worse your digestion. Of course, it should also have the right consistency, not too soft and not too hard. Bloatings and gas production is also a clear sign of a bad digestion. And the last thing is frequency. If you have a poop less than once per day, this is either a sign of you just eating too less, or of course, your gut health should be improved. All right. The most difficult part is already accomplished. Now let's get one step further. How do we now optimize our gut health? What foods should I eat? What supplements do I take? And what kind of intestinal cure I can do? Well, that's the wrong questions, because the most important question is, first of all, what's the issue? What's the root? What's the cause of your bad gut health? Because doing some kind of intestinal cure or taking some random supplements, yes, it can be a lucky strike, but it can also be a pain in the ass. Literally, because you didn't fix the source of your bad gut health. And there are 4 major sources of a bad gut health, and therefore 4 simple steps to optimize your gut health. First one is stress. And this is honestly the most important thing to fix. But it's really easy to spot. To give an example, let me show you a story. Some years ago, I suffered from a really bad digestion. I had bloatings all the time, especially in the meals during the day. And it was kind of frustrating because it really didn't matter what I was eating. And as a result, I felt sluggish and had really brain fog in the second part of the day. Sometimes this lasted till the evening, so I couldn't really enjoy dinner. And sometimes I lie down in bed and couldn't sleep because of bloatings and stomach pain. And then I noticed something really interesting. The moment I was in a holiday, my digestion drastically improved. And I was trying to figure out what was the case. Even if I ate the same foods, my digestion was always perfect. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Stress impacts the gut. When the body is heavily stressed, digestion doesn't have a high priority for survival, and therefore the body doesn't really care. So what I did was really working on my stress management. So I meditated daily. I reduced my caffeine intake. I did some breathwork exercises, especially in the evening, and I experimented with some herbs and adaptogens to reduce my stress levels. There are also some really interesting studies that they did on monks. So they studied monks who meditated 2 hours per day, and the scientists found out that the gut bacteria in the monks changed, which led to a better performing gut microbiome. So of course, stress management is a really important topic about our overall health and performance. So if you want me to record more videos on stress management, simply comment it down below. Second source of a bad gut microbiome is different medications, especially antibiotics. And I'm sometimes shocked how fast and easy some doctors prescribe antibiotics. Of course, if you have a lung inflammation, an antibiotic will be really beneficial for you. But if doctors recommend antibiotics for every minor issue without educating their patients about the potential impacts of antibiotics, this makes me really worrying. Because antibiotics start a war in your gut microbiome, eliminating all the good bacteria. So after every treatment with antibiotics, you should take care to add some probiotics to rebuild the gut microbiome. This can be either in the form of probiotic supplements or in some probiotic-rich foods, something like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi. Third source is infections or toxins. As I showed you in the example from the beginning, some infections or some yeast funguses can really have an impact on your brain and overall well-being. The same applies for toxins, especially heavy metals, because some foods, especially fishes like tuna or swordfish, or even low quality supplements can contain lots of heavy metals. They can stick in your gut and cause several problems. And there are lots of tests that you can simply order in the internet to test the amount of heavy metals inside your body. And in that case, of course, I recommend reduce the intakes of food that contain heavy metals. And in addition to that, I'm a big fan of using a supplement called chlorella to detox the gut microbiome. But in both cases, toxins or infections, it makes really sense to do a gut health test, which I will explain in a minute. Because the gut health test is also really important for our fourth and maybe most important source of a poor gut health, which is your diet. Yes, of course, we know that sugar, artificial sweeteners, and gluten are bad for our gut microbiome. So if your diet consists of bread, protein shakes, and Coke Zero, chances are high that this is the easiest way to fix your poor gut health. But even if you already take care of what you're putting in your body and trying to eat healthy, this can still be a source of a bad gut health. The reason for that, every gut microbiome is unique. Among humans, we share over 99% of our genes, but just about 10 to 20% of our gut microbiome bacteria. That means that one of the most important organs in our body is around 80 to 90% individual. So everyone needs a personalized diet. Every food is unique to our microbiome. And that's why I collect gut health tests with every of my coaching clients, because these can identify the right foods for you. And these are literally shit tests. You may ask that yourself. Yes, you have to poop in the pouch. And they can tell you exactly which foods you should avoid, which foods are okay, and which are real superfoods to your microbiome. And based on these results, I can create a personalized meal plan, supplement protocol, which increases gut health, increases energy levels, and optimizes overall health and performance. I hope you liked that video. If you got some value out of it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to that channel. That's it for today, guys. See you soon.